July 1863. A quiet Pennsylvania town became the stage for the bloodiest battle in American history. In just 3 days, over 51,000 men were killed. July 1, 1863. Barlow's Knoll, north of Gettysburg, became a graveyard before the sun set. Confederate forces swept across this hill, leaving scenes of horror that stunned all who witnessed them. A Harvest of Death, by Timothy H. O'Sullivan. Photographer Timothy O'Sullivan captured this chilling image, titled A Harvest of Death. For the first time in history, war's brutality was frozen in time, confronting Americans with the true cost of battle. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, highlighted. Months later, President Abraham Lincoln would dedicate this ground, forever linking Gettysburg to his immortal words, "47 years ago." Andrew Cowan's artillery battery. This gun crew helped propel Pickett's charge, cementing Gettysburg as a turning point of the Civil War. These rare photos bring us face to face with that decisive moment in history. Setting the stage, why Gettysburg mattered. Robert E. Lee portrait. In June 1863, Confederate General Robert E. Lee launched a bold invasion of the North, seeking to shatter Union morale and perhaps force peace. Major General George G. Meade portrait. Opposing him was Union General George Meade, a quiet but capable officer who took command of the Army of the Potomac just days before Gettysburg. Gettysburg Battle Map, Day 1. Gettysburg, a simple crossroads town in Pennsylvania, became the stage for the war's bloodiest battle by chance. Its roads converged like spokes, drawing two massive armies together. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, historic view. For Gettysburg's residents, the war suddenly arrived at their doorstep, turning peaceful streets into scenes of chaos. Gettysburg Town View from Seminary. On July 1st, Union cavalry held their ground outside town, buying time for reinforcements. Confederate forces advanced relentlessly, driving Federal troops back through Gettysburg streets. Gettysburg Seminary Building. This Lutheran seminary became a Union stronghold and later, a field hospital. Its cupola offered commanders a grim view of the approaching Confederate tide. Regiment marching down Gettysburg Street. Soldiers marched into Gettysburg, unaware they were heading into one of the war's deadliest encounters. Addison W. Preston of 1st Vermont Cavalry. Among them was Addison Preston, a Union cavalry officer. Gettysburg would claim thousands of men like him, whose courage and sacrifice shaped history. Devil's Den, Florida Monument Commission. July 2nd brought even bloodier fighting. Devil's Den, a rocky outcrop, became a killing ground as sharpshooters and artillery fire echoed through the hills. Little Round Top, 1863. On Little Round Top, Union forces made a desperate stand. Colonel Joshua Chamberlain's 20th Maine famously charged with bayonets to hold this crucial hill. Joshua Chamberlain portrait. Chamberlain's courage helped save the Union flank. He would be hailed as a hero, but he carried Gettysburg's scars for life. Wheatfield opposite Union left. The wheatfield became a scene of staggering carnage, changing hands multiple times in a single afternoon. Pine Cottage Soldiers' Quarters. Nearby, soldiers sheltered in makeshift cabins like these, enduring the harsh realities of a war fought on home soil. Thuer de Thulstrup's painting of Gettysburg. On July 3rd, Lee made his fateful gamble, Pickett's charge. 12,500 Confederate soldiers marched across open fields under withering fire. High water mark of the Rebellion Monument. This spot marks where Confederate troops briefly broke Union lines. Here, the Confederacy reached its high water mark, and then fell back in defeat. Unidentified Confederate soldier portrait. Many of those who marched that day remain nameless in history, their images haunting reminders of sacrifice. wheat field where General Reynolds fell. Union General John Reynolds, beloved by his men, was among the first killed in battle, a sign of the heavy price yet to come. The sharpshooter's last sleep. This haunting image of a fallen Confederate sharpshooter shocked Americans. For the first time, civilians could see the faces of the dead. Gettysburg Field Hospital scene. Barns and homes became makeshift hospitals. Surgeons worked tirelessly, often amputating limbs without anesthesia. Alfred Vaude portrait. Artist Alfred Vaude, a battlefield sketch artist, witnessed the horrors firsthand, capturing scenes in vivid detail. Alexander Gardner portrait. Photographer Alexander Gardner turned Gettysburg into a permanent visual record, forcing the nation to confront war's reality. Lincoln at Gettysburg by Fletcher Ransom. 4 months later, President Lincoln came to Gettysburg to dedicate a cemetery for the fallen. Dedication of Gettysburg National Cemetery. His speech lasted barely 2 minutes, yet it became immortal. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. Gettysburg Address manuscript. Lincoln's words gave meaning to the sacrifice, transforming the Civil War into a fight for freedom and equality. National Cemetery, Gettysburg. Today, rows of headstones mark where soldiers from both sides rest. Their names tell stories of courage and tragedy. 6th Pennsylvania Cavalry Monument. Gettysburg's monuments honor the valor of men who fought not for fame, but for ideals they believed were worth dying for. Confederate dead gathered for burial, July 5, 1863. These haunting images remind us that Gettysburg was not just a turning point in war, it was a turning point for America. They carry the cries of soldiers, the grief of families, and the cost of a nation divided. History lives in these haunting images, and they ask us never to forget. Today, Gettysburg's fields are peaceful, but beneath the quiet lies a story written in blood. These rare photographs remind us of a time when a nation was torn apart, and of the unimaginable sacrifice it took to bring it back together. Every face you've seen, every silent image, carries a voice from history, a warning, and a lesson we must never forget. If this journey through time moved you, help keep these stories alive. Subscribe for more rare images, untold history, and powerful moments frozen in time. Let's make sure their sacrifice is never lost to silence.